Now let's turn it over to Johnny.
It's Trial Tuesday once again. Today we're talking cybersecurity and what you need to do to keep your personal information safe online. Attorney David Ayler, a man who strongly stands opposed to the password 1234 for your luggage, your computer, anything like that. Here was some helpful legal information. Counselor, 'tis the season, my friend. Everyone is online. Everybody's shopping. Everybody's putting those debit card informations in the computer like gangbusters. What do we need to know?
Well, you need to, first of all, when you get online, you need to be careful to the degree that you're not purchasing anything really quickly. Obviously, we just had Cyber Monday. There's so much hacking and different things that go on during Cyber Monday for that reason. But you have to pay attention to the sites you're going to and where you're actually giving that information, because there's a lot of sites that appear to be secure that actually aren't.
You know what I just found out the other day? If you buy something online, in the search bar where you type in the www address,
right,
if there's a little lock in the corner, that means it's encrypted. That means it's safe, safe to use, maybe not safe from hackers out there who are unscrupulously trying to get your information, but
You're
that's
right.
the way to do it.
There's going to be some degree that you just can't control,
yeah,
and that's just the risk out there. So on that side of it, you have to always be paying attention to your accounts, whether it be a credit card, a bank account, that sort of thing. But one thing I always encourage people to do is when you go online to a certain site, let's say it was selling some sort of product, look at the reviews. Go online and look at other places that review it. If you see a lot of people that have reviewed it, clearly it's going to be a legitimate site. Or if you sometimes see reviews that said, hey, I bought something off here and I'm not sure completely, but I believe afterwards some of my information was hacked and used, whether it be emails or anything else. So those are the things you want to be careful with. Also, because you can, just by putting in your email address maybe to get a newsletter or what you think may be a newsletter or some other type of information, not even purchase anything, that ends up being a virus. You then end up spreading that virus. We've all got that kind of spam.
Right.
That also can lead to security issues.
Well, tell me this a little bit. As an attorney, most times banks will give you the benefit of the doubt.
Right.
If you catch something, a fraud charge, something like that you didn't say, they'll have a waiting period, then they'll put that money back in your account. Have you ever had a case where the bank says, well, nope, I don't think we're going to do that this time around? And do you have to go to court for that?
Well, you do see issues sometimes, and a lot of times those issues are simply because a person waited too long to do it, or maybe that it happened more than once, and that really just comes to being inattentive to your accounts. Particularly if you're making a lot of transactions online, you need to follow up. Even sometimes it may just be a mistake and you need to be refunded something. But the bottom line is, yeah, if you go to a financial institution, whether it be your local bank or a credit card company that you might be national or international, if they sit there and see charge after charge where you've sort of let it run rampant without looking at it, there are times where they're going to say, hey, we're at this point with the limit. Or they may go to the next step and ask you to go file a police report. Now, you go to some other countries, they're not going to refund the money depending on what type of cyber laws they have unless you file the report and maybe even get a conviction. Here in the United States, we're lucky enough to know that most often, like you said, people are going to get that money back. But don't always expect that, and don't take a lackadaisical attitude to it, because what can happen is it ends up hurting your credit.
Well, that's the thing. A lot of these banks today and many of these corporations are based in other countries. Does that change the scheme of things?
Well, not usually, because there's going to be representation here within the United States simply because they're banking here. However, each bank or each credit card has different policies. While there's certain things they have to do, they don't always have to refund all your money. And like I said, sometimes purchase will be made, or what's really concerning is when your information is used to get new credit cards you don't know about.
Right.
And that obviously is one of the main issues with hacking when you see some of these major retailers and things like that, when they're taking that person's information and then using it to apply for other cards. You don't check your credit report, and then you see things on there that you have no connection to, and that is not as easy as a phone call to get rid of.
Identity theft, definitely an issue. For people out there who may want to do their holiday shopping at a brick and mortar store, switching gears here, you go to the mall, you take the bags, you put them in the trunk. Someone comes by, smashes your window out, takes the bags. What's your first step that you need to do?
Call the police right there. Don't call your husband, don't call your wife, don't call your friend. Call the police first. Don't touch the car. Let them come out there. They will take fingerprints and hopefully find who did it. And also, you also got to think the security of others. That person may still be somewhere around. They may even be in your vehicle.
Yeah.
But, people's first reaction is to call a loved one and say, hey, guess what happened? That's not your first call. Your first call should always be the police.
And how about trying to get security footage from from a police department? Is that something that they handle internally during their investigation? If you're at a mall parking lot, you say, oh, well, I can see that camera right there. Maybe we can get a picture and catch this guy or girl. Is that something you need to do?
Sometimes yes, sometimes no. It depends on the police department and sort of what's involved. What you can do as a victim of any crime is have your own legal representation. You're going to have victims advocates and help, but oftentimes I know my office and a lot of other attorneys get involved in cases where someone's a victim just to kind of help them through the legal process and also maybe help them through the investigation side of it.
There you go. Good tips right there. Hopefully everybody stays safe and has a happy holiday season. Happy holidays to you, Counselor.
Same to you as well.
Do appreciate you coming by. Much more after the break. Stay with us.
Trial Tuesday, brought to you by attorney David Ayler.